million could have been well spent for provide housing for our members.
I agree with that.
And getting that.
Absolutely.
That's what we're trying to protect against. We don't want that to happen again.
And neither does a trust board. That's why it takes a two-thirds
Right.
vote of the membership to change it. And the members are the governing body of this tribe, not the tribal council.
Yes.
Crystal.
Go ahead, Chris.
Crystal Paxton Dombrowski. I want to know, out of all of you, who represents us? Who hears us?
I do.
Who works for us?
I do.
We do.
You say that, but you're arguing amongst yourselves. How much did it take to defend us when the Cherokees wanted our sovereignty?
Hundreds of thousands of dollars, at
Do
least.
you really think 2 million is going to protect us? That's
This,
not a drop in the bucket. My children and we want to be able to depend on our tribe. I mean, I'm going to school, I have a $40,000 tuition. I wanted to apply for the $5,000 tribal, or the trust board scholarship.
That's
But I'm not
a
gonna do that because I know that there's more, that people need it more than me. I'm going to school, and it is my dream to come back to my tribe and help my tribe.
Crystal, that $5,000 is through the tribal council, not the trust board.
Okay.
yeah, I want to make our services to our membership, like you, viable. We need to matter in your life. How we can do that is by economic development, becoming self-sufficient, and starting to provide better services. We need to become important, we need to become a factor and matter to our membership. This, $1 million is not what $1 million was in the 80s.
Exactly.
But this is a very common practice of governments. Norway, the Cherokee Nation, the Osage Nation has one. They're generally not controversial. They're generally celebrated as a way to protect our sovereignty. What's important, when I think of the Delaware, I think of the 500-year, 10,000-year legacy. I want to make sure we're here, and that's why I introduced the idea, and Brian will introduce a resolution to pass this. It's like beguiling to me again. This has become so politicized and upsetting. I don't want to fight over this. I don't want to have to be here defending something that I think is meant for good. But what we need to do for you is we need to be successful in economic development. We need to get land into trust. We need to do all the very, very important things.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say that in one of the past meetings, it was said when this money was brought up that there's too many hands in the pot. So I don't agree with splitting up the money. I agree that as a lump sum, it is common sense that we'll have a greater return on that. I know that the trust board has had a past good, trustworthy record of taking care of our monies. Now, I don't understand the 72, the 198. I mean, I'm pretty much new to all this. So if someone would please explain that to me. There's, other tribal members that live out of state that don't have a voice, they think, because they're not here. Luckily, thank goodness, we're streaming this now, so they do have a little more idea of what's going on. They feel left out. I live over in Claremore. I feel left out. So I just want to leave this as with, saying, I want you guys to listen to the tribal members. I want you guys to work for us. I don't want you all to fight. My great-grandma was full-blood Delaware. And she said, the reason the Delawares can't get anything done is because we fight too much amongst ourselves. That was my great-grandma, Minnie Thaxton. Let's stop this.
Chief,
Thank you.
just a second here, I won't take very long at all. Or is there somebody else wants to talk?
I think.
Excuse me.
Levi.
Levi and Kathy both.
My name is Levi Randall. Been around the tribe a long time, seen a lot of the good things that the trust board is able to accomplish. Great members coming and going over the years, and I'd like to congratulate you all for helping out the tribe. Thank you for the job that you guys do. I'm with the opinion that the settlement money should go directly to the trust board. I'm in complete agreement with Crystal. We do have a lot of tribal members who are not able to get any kind of help, any kind of community service. The funds are just very limited and not there, and I feel like if you give this money to the trust board, get it invested. Let's get the interest off it. Let's get that money going back to the tribal members. Let's help these people. You council members and chiefs will be remembered by how you help your people. How you came about that. You know, you owe it to these people as leaders. You know, these people are looking to you for help. And there's a lot of folks that do need help. I know I don't really use the programs, but you know what? There's a lot of people that aren't as fortunate as I am. At least I have a good job and a woman that works, and we're able to take care of our household. Many people aren't in that position, so you really have to look towards the most unfortunate. So just talk amongst yourselves, and even a split if you have to do that. I'm okay with that too. But let's get these services going. Let's take care of these people. Please look to the education as well. My God, there's the education funds that this tribe gives out is just not adequate to help anybody. It doesn't even buy a couple books. So something to just kind of think about and take into account. And those of you that sit on that trust board and council, those that have been to college and you understand that those costs are what they are. They're not, probably not even anything what you paid for in school. I can't tell you exactly how much my books were, but I tell you what, I bought an algebra book last year for $350. Okay, so the funds that you guys are giving towards schooling, it needs to be looked at. So I just think that if you reinvest it with the trust board, it's a good idea. But if the wheel's not broke, let's not reinvent it.
Okay.
Chief, I just want to,
One more comment.
I'm sorry.
And like you said, if it's not broke, why fix it? I don't understand the purpose of new carpet and new furniture and stuff. It's not about looks. It's about what, they didn't need that. It's about what the members need. And it was a waste. There was nothing wrong with what was there. That's all I was saying.
Chief,
We had to remodel that building.
Chief, I just want to make a comment. We did sign off on that document. It took Mary Jo's signature for us to get that money released, period. Regardless if it was however the money was delegated. If we refused to sign it, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about it today. It'd still be in litigation. So I kind of think that maybe I can see where your guys' argument is, and you've already passed your particular resolution to the tribal council passed a resolution to go ahead and invest that money. We'll do what you want to do with it. You left us out of it altogether. Now we're
Let me
Go ahead.
Let me make a correction, John.
Okay.
It was not a resolution, it was a motion.
Oh, okay, it was a motion to, tribal council made a motion, passed a motion to take control of the money. Is that right?
It's not what the motion was. The motion was to direct the treasurer to invest it into a sovereign trust to protect
With
the
the
money
tribal
for-
council, with the tribal
Well,
council?
you know, I take issue, I mean, I don't see why we were required to consult you on this. Or is that your implication, that we were required to consult?
Well, I don't
you
say
on
if you
this?
was required or not, but I think it was probably a courtesy that you maybe even asked us if it was, you could ask us to discuss it with us, because we did. Again, I remind you that we signed off on it.
When did you find out we were working on getting it?
Pardon me?
When did you first find out we were working on getting the trust?
Oh, probably about 17 years ago.
You knew that we were working on this.
I was against you guys settling that case, and you knew that. We lost out on about another $2 million by you guys settling and wanting the $2 million. When you first started it, you guys was going up there, you wanted to ask for only $1 million you're gonna settle for, and I was against that. A year later, now we got 2.4. Now, if we didn't settle the case at all, we would have about $5 million. And the odds were, if the odds were that we were, Las Vegas odds was we were going to win, because it was our money. It was going to win. But of course, we settled out. Maybe that figure, maybe the $5 million was a little high, but I think we might have got 60 cents on our dollar, or 70, and that was a good. They say that was a good payback.
Okay,
Oh, thank you, Chief.
is there another tribal member out there that wishes to make a comment? John Sumter?
Thank you again. This has been getting pretty deep. Everything I've seen and I've heard has gone to the trust board being on the lower rung of the ladder, and the tribal council having ultimate control. And in the trust document it says and/or, but it also mentions the tribal members. The tribal members were told about this. They had no input. They should have had at least a 3-month input time for people to mail their opinions into you representatives. But either way, you've already made a motion. But the thing is, was it the right motion? For what reasons did you make it? From our side out here looking in, it wasn't for good ones. Some of you up for re-election. This here is going to tell on your reputation at that election. Because some people's already talking, and I'm one of them. Because of the fact, this trust board has been has been working for the tribe, has been doing everything that you said that you're going to do. But these guys already know the ins and outs of the roads. Yeah, I love the way you two look at each other. It's kind of cute.
Well,
Got a little close up.
it's
But
kind of
either
hard to
way,
listen to being insulted.
I am going to step off now with this little closing statement. It seems weird that now that you consider the trust board inept and you're taking their job. And that's the way
Nobody's
it
called
looks
the
like
trust
to
board
me.
inept, John.
So thank you for that time.
Nobody's called the trust board inept. Nobody has said that.
Ron's got her
Call implication. Somebody out there that had their hands up, who is it?
hand.
Rhonda.
Roger.
Oh, Roger. I'm sorry, Roger.
Roger.
It was live streamed. There's no sense in denying it. That you consider this trust board some trust board somewhere. It's on YouTube. Go and review it. Just a
Is
minute,
that-
I've
all
got
Are you
the
threatening me?
floor.
Did I do something? I'm not ashamed of anything I've said or done.
Fourth, I've got the floor.
Now it works.
Yeah, I don't know that it's going to do any good to argue back and forth on a personal basis.
Pardon my
The trust board's got a chairman. What's the chairman say?
I believe I've already stated my feelings on this, and that I think a case could be made that all the funds come to the trust board for management under the trust document, voted upon by the people. However, I would accept a 50-50 split, and that's my feelings.
I've already said my feelings way back in December, so I won't belabor that further. I think, does any council member wish to make a motion on the subject? Or does the trust board wish to make a trust board motion?
Also move to split the settlement funds 50-50 with the trust board.
You're making a motion, that effect?
I should have.
I'll second that motion.
There's already
Right,
motion.
like that's already.
Not a resolution.
Not a resolution.
But no, you took a rescind, the first of a rescind
No.
resolution.
We have.
If it's a resolution.
I've heard a second, motion and a second. Discussion.
Call for the question.
Question called. And the question, the motion was that the tribal council and the trust board split the remaining funds of that money after paying the attorneys. All in favor of that motion, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Let the record show that the motion to split the money between the trust board and the tribal council fails by a vote of 3 yes, 4 no. Mary Jo?
I believe that the trust board would like to have the people speak to this issue. And we have an initiative petition here. Joe, would you like to speak to that?
I think it should go out to a vote of the people. Council kind of agree, and I heard more people in the audience say they thought the trust board should have it than the tribal council. I'm on both, so I'm stuck between a rock and a hard spot. But that's not against our Constitution for me to serve on both. I try to serve both bodies the best that I can and to my best ability. And I think I've done a good job as treasurer of the trust board. I want to add that our chairman of the trust board is also a CPA. I don't think anybody on this tribal council, including me, is a CPA. That's all I want to add to it.
Do you have something in your hand there, Mary Jo?
Yes, I do. I have the initiative 2018-01.
You have to file it with the secretary then,
Okay, so,
and get seals on it.
okay, so at this point, do I deliver it to you?
Charles is the
Charles
secretary.
Randall's the secretary. He'll need to sign it.
He needs to read it first.
See, of course.
You have the seal on it.
Yes, please.
Yes.
My name is Linda Ashford, and I agree with this. I just want to know your meeting that you had the day that it snowed. Why did y'all go on with that business?
We had tribal council business that had to be taken care of.
Yes, but this stuff we're talking about, this money,
We felt like that was something we had to take care of. That's why I
without
made the
the
motion.
rest of of the majority? I mean, I listened to it, and I
We have a
understand that
majority
you
vote.
called it, you called the trust board off that day because of quote, quote, bad weather.
We didn't call the trust board off.
To clarify that, I called it off because I heard that there were icy roads, and at least one of our members would have been driving in from Nowata, and I felt it was a safety issue.
I
Where'd you drive from?
From here all the time. I've been stranded out there. There's no other roads been fixed since I grew up. So, you know, it's icy. It's icy down by my house. I just think that when the two entities that you have here, you guys are all right, is what I hear. But you got to be more open. If one of them was called off, then the other one should be called off, but there's this much at stake for the tribe.
Joe?
I agree with that 100%, and I don't think there should have been a vote taken on it, period, till we heard from the tribal members.
Are you, in other words, that's a petition, correct?
That has nothing for us to act on here.
Mary Jo, did you have a copy of that for every trust board member,
Yeah.
every tribal?
You have to get this, yeah, well, it's gotta have a
Oh,
seal.
that's right, gotta have
It's
it.
gotta have a seal on it. Those don't work.
No, because they don't have.
Well, it won't work to circulate,
Right.
I think.
But it'll let everybody know what's in the petition.
No,
Well,
we're all gonna see it, I'm
When
sure.
you guys, yeah, when you guys circulate that during journal meeting, this is a tribal council.
Council meeting.
This
It's
is-
a joint
This is a
meeting.
joint meeting.
There's no such thing as a joint meeting in our constitution.
The chief called a joint meeting.
Where does it say you can do that in the constitution? Show me.
We've had joint meetings for years and
It says
years.
that
I make a
chiefs
motion,
call
we adjourn.
meetings.
None exists in the constitution.
I make a
It
motion.
doesn't most definitely exist in the Constitution
I'd love
that
to
the
see.
chief calls meetings.
Yeah,
I
nobody's
call
saying
this-
that.
Doesn't address it, period.
There is no such thing as a joint meeting of the tribal council and the trust board.
According to you.
I made a motion that we adjourn.
I don't have.
I'll second. We got all for questions.
Motion been made to adjourn. Second,
You have a tribal.
and second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? No.